Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bull sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Ooh, it's gonna fall. Okay. Sagittarius. August 2021 money and career, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Now at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At the bottom, we have the Ace of Pentacles. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing a gift of prosperity when it comes to a money and career reading. That's what we like to see. We like to see prosperity coming forward. We like to see pentacles. We like to see wands. And then we have the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If you're born on the cusp with Scorpio, or if you have Scorpio within your chart, this is going to be coming out quite profoundly. And then we have the Ace of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There's a sense here of cutting through a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, but another blessing comes forward, and this has to do with the clarity of the mind and the determination of the self. Now in our inner self, we have the Two of Pentacles. We're juggling a lot. And we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is the sense of unity and love. So we're trying to find this peace and this harmony. And that's going to be a really big thing for us during this time, Sagittarius, that we really need to be mindful of and aware of. And we need to be aware of our own creative power as we are moving forward because of the repeat of the number 2 within our inner self. We then have the Two of Swords coming through. We have the five of the major arcana, which is the Hierophant. This is Taurus energy. And then we have the Empress. And I love that combination together. Then we have the Seven of Wands and the Four of Wands, which is really interesting because the Seven of Wands is like, I have to fight. And that's what we're going to feel like within our career. Like, I have to fight, I have to defend where I've gotten. But the Four of Wands is saying, no, you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate what you desire, what you want, what you're married to, meaning what you are dedicated to and why you are dedicated to it. Let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of, Sagittarius. August 2021, money and career. What energy does Sagittarius need to be mindful of? August 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides. And this is the King of Cups, which is very interesting because the King of Cups comes through as a blessing at our rooted self, but it's also something to be mindful of. It's going to be this falling into emotions, this sense of we're going to be very drawn to people with very big emotional energy, meaning that they could be just a very intense person, a very emotional person, very much, it can be that they go to one extreme or to another. They can be joyous and laughter and just happiness. They can be anger and have this bark that is quite intimidating to them. They can also be morose and just overwhelming to be around. And we have to be mindful of this, because we're going to want to figure out the mystery of them. We're going to want to look at it and say, well, what's going on here? And it's even going to be energy like books or television shows or movies or music. We're going to be very drawn to things that have extremes. And we have to be mindful of that for ourselves, because we're finding the unity and we need the balance and we need to embrace our power. So we don't need to be in a state of uproar or upheaval or doubt or fear. So being very mindful of that is going to be important. Also, this is going to be a person who looks at a person and can size them up emotionally very, very easily. So when it comes to us, we might be like, wow, this person really cares. This person is really seeing my struggles and who I am and what's important to me. No, they're gathering up information so that they can emotionally use it against you later on and come with attacks that are just, they're harsh, and they knock you off your game because you think, oh my gosh, this is a person I can trust. And it winds up that they're not. So do be mindful of that. Let's look at our chakra energy. Sagittarius, August 2021, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is balance, and this is the root chakra. So during this time, we need the balance of the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine, the balance of what's important to us, our creative self, our work self, our, job needs to be done self. And so looking at the balance of this energy and the balance of ourselves is going to be important. Calling out when we get overwhelmed, when we have doubts and fears and negativity is abounding, and being able to center ourselves. We might even find that, certain people aren't adding to our harmony, and we have to be aware of that during this time. It's going to be very important. Now, we have the Ace of Pentacles coming in. There's a gift of wealth coming forward. Now, this wealth doesn't have to be that we win the lottery, though I do wish that for everyone. What it is that we start to see a different route forward towards success. We start to see more prosperity coming forward. We start to see bounty guiding us. And we're thinking, well, why can't I do that? Instead of, oh no, I don't have the time, or oh no, I can't possibly do this. It's like, yes, I can. Yes, I can, make time for this thing that makes my heart sing. Yes, I can, embrace my passion and what I desire and where it is that I want to be. And so this gift of seeds being planted and ideas being had are really coming forward in a very powerful way for us. And it leads us to the King of Cups. Emotionally, we are looking at the doubts and the fears. We're looking at the chaotic waters, and we're starting to see the healing within ourselves as we look at the chaos that is around us. And it's kind of almost like, this has nothing to do with me. So often we read things about people, or we're, listening to the news or whatever, and we get so emotionally invested. And it's not saying, oh, this isn't important. No, it is. But we need to step back. And especially from things that are kind of gossipy or things that are out of our control, we have to say, I can only live in accordance to my rules and my life and what I desire from myself. And so I hold that sacred to me. And the changes that I'm going to make, the balance that I'm going to find, the connecting with my root chakra, but also with my heart chakra during this time, is going to put me into harmony with myself. And it's going to start opening up new doors of possibilities, new doors of ambition and innovation, but it's also going to start opening up new doors of ideas. It's asking those questions, it's pushing down those barriers, it's saying why not instead of why. And as we do this, it's like the only person I rule is myself. And more importantly, the only person I want to rule is myself. I can't make anybody else do anything. If you've ever dealt with a 2-year-old, you definitely know this, that, even when we're at our youngest, we are still astoundingly stubborn, astoundingly independent beings, or at least beings with our own minds and our own ambitions. And so now we need to really harness that energy of what we love and what we desire. And we're cutting through a lot of negativity, a lot of doubt, a lot of fears, a lot of, well, I can't because somebody said this 20 years ago and I believe them, because I didn't have the self-confidence in myself, because I didn't think of myself as a strong, powerful warrior. And I thought that's what you needed to be to succeed. No, you needed to be the person who held on to the ideas, who fought through the doubts and the fears and the anger and the negativity and the hurts and the pains, and still stood in your space of being. And a lot of times we think of that as warrior spirit, and we think that has to be somebody fierce, somebody who is, bold and in charge and loud, and you can't miss them. But it can also be very quiet energy. It can be very harmonizing energy. It can be very loving energy. And keeping that energy and keeping that sense of I'm fighting for the balance of my heart and what I adore. That's tremendous strength. And it moves us to the unity of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine when it comes to our talents, when it comes to what we desire. It's not saying, oh, one is bad and the other one is good, or one is good and the other one is bad. I mean, this is silly. It is saying that we need to have the balance of the both, the melding of the both within us in order to really embrace our power and really embrace what we desire and want and long for within life. There is a sense on needing to lean on somebody. Now, this could be a person that we talk to. This could be our own, leaning on our own creativity, our spirit guides, our angels. But there's also this sense of finding harmony within ourselves, finding a union, finding a greater understanding, finding a greater purpose. And it leads us to, how are we going to balance this? How are we going to balance the emotional awakening that's coming forward with everything that needs to be done? All the things that are the demands, the demands of everybody who, has a piece of us, our work, our home, our friends, ourselves. How do we make time? And this is going to be a time where our emotions really can get out of hand. And instead of being the king and saying, no, I rule this, I am embracing my tenacity, my stubbornness, my force of emotional awakening and power, we're going to feel like, oh my goodness, how do I not drown within the sea of everything that is expected, in the sea of everything that needs to be done? And what we first have to start doing is balancing ourselves, taking time for ourselves, connecting with ourselves, and looking what we're doing, and looking what it is that's causing us to feel crazy, feel overwhelmed, feel doubtful, feel fearful. And then it leads us to the Two of Swords. And the repeat of the number 2 3 times is this connection with unity that divinity is talking about, and this connection with creativity that divinity really wants us to open up to. The Two of Swords is seeing that the paths that we had carved out, the things that we thought, well, you can go this way or that way, this is what success looks like, or this is what success looks like, we're going to start to see that we're finding new avenues forward. It can be that we find jobs that we never knew existed. It can be that we find passions and creativity within us that we never knew we had. But it's also saying, I'm not this box. I'm not what other people expect. I'm not what other people want. I am me. And that doesn't mean that other people don't want us or respect us or love us, but it means that I'm not living this life for you, and I'm not living for you to be comfortable within my existence. I'm living for me to be comfortable within my existence and move forward in my understanding, in my cutting away of doubts and fears, in my power of my voice, my power of my ideas. And this is going to be a time where, Sagittarius, we actually find ourselves very drawn to the conventional, which you would think we would want to go out and reinvent the wheel. But you know what? The real wheel works pretty darn well. Why would we need to change it? We can add our own spin to it. We can, go from a horse and buggy to a car. That makes perfect sense. But it's still going to be fitting into a realm of conformity. So this is going to be a time where we look at things that inspire us, we look at things that have paved the way, and we say, you know what, that's a good place to build off of. Those are really good ideas, that's really good insight, that is what I need to kind of take and put my own spin on it, to take that and move forward with it. The Hierophant is also very much telling us we have to be true to ourselves. What is it? Because we have the 2 marriage cards here. So the commitment that we have to our work and to our finances, we're married to that during this time. It doesn't mean that we have to compromise everything. It doesn't mean that we lose our own voice and our own understanding. What it means is that I can't betray this because it is sacredly important to me. I need to understand this because it's opening up doors and avenues that I absolutely desire. The Hierophant is the power. The Hierophant is the Pope in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and that is the guiding power in medieval times that told kings and queens, emperors and empresses what to do. And so this power within us that says, I take up this space for this reason. I am moving forward towards this dream, towards what I desire, what I want, what I need. It changes my world. It changes my world, and it is such an intrinsic part of me. And it brings us then to the Empress. It brings us to this place of claiming our throne, claiming our identity of voice, claiming our passion and our greater understanding and our insights and our ideas, and the opening up of the doors and the real moving forward towards where we want to be. The Empress is the person who has this freeness of movement coming forward. The Empress is the person who didn't know she had a throne until she stumbled across it and claimed it. The Empress is the person who claims the power of her voice after being silenced. And so this is a time where we have these talents that weren't seen, because this is represented by Taliesin in, I always forget how to say his name, in Welsh mythology. And he was this fantastic bard, but he started off as a lowly kitchen boy, told to stir a pot. He had no worth, you didn't know his name, and then all of a sudden, through twists and turns of unbelievable events, he became the most powerful bard, the most powerful poet in all of Wales. You could say in all of the Celtic realms. And then we have the Empress, Rhiannon, who was the queen in her own right and gave up everything for the man that she loved and had everything snatched away only to rebuild it tenfold, to rebuild it towards greater power and greater understanding. And this is going to be our journey during this time. There's a sense of our hearts saying, I can't. And the power of our inner self saying, like hell I can't. Absolutely I can. I'm breaking down the barriers. I'm moving forward to where I want to be. I'm claiming what I desire. And as I claim this, it's going to be that sense of, well, I'll show you. So our fighting mentality comes forward. Now, this isn't saying roll over, play dead, let people walk all over you. Absolutely not. But what the Seven of Wands is saying is that I'm tenacious, I'm passionate, I'm powerful, I'm moving towards what I want, what I need, and I'm learning when to fight and when to let things go. I'm learning when to step away and when to engage. Because if I fight every fight, if I go after everything, I will fall apart. My energy will be used up, especially when it comes to work and when it comes to our creative endeavors. We do not want to use up our energy. We do not want to be drained every which way we look, because we're always engaging in battles. We're always trying to make people understand. Some people never will. And you know what? That's on them. It's not on us. Some people will never like us. Why? They just don't. We're not their cup of tea. So what? Now it is time to move forward in passion, defending what it is that is sacred to us, what it is that is intrinsically important to us, what it is that we're working for, fighting for, gaining a greater understanding of. And it brings us to this place of unity, of greater understanding, of celebration, of happiness, of joy, of new pathways opening up, of new desires leading us forward. It leads us to a place where we start to celebrate. We start to celebrate who we are. We start to celebrate where we're going. We start to celebrate the deeper connections that are around us. And it's within our creative energy. It's within our work. Now, this could be our 9 to 5 job, or this can be the thing we do on the side, not the thing that pays the bills, but the thing we do on the side that gives us tremendous joy, tremendous understanding. And we can stop fighting. We can say, you know what, maybe right now, this is what I'm supposed to be embracing. I'm supposed to be carving out time. I'm supposed to be, embracing my greater understanding and my tenacity and my unconventionalness to move forward towards what I desire. But even we can be embracing our conventionalness. We can be looking at things that say, okay, well, maybe I don't fit into this mold, or I don't do things the way everybody else expects, but I do things in a way that is right for me, powerful for me, and that really starts to bring about a balance, but also calls me out in the areas of my life that I'm unstable on, in the areas of my life that, even though I have endless prosperity calling to me and coming to me, because I am so chaotic, because everything is so intense or upsetting or, just too much, it's falling by. And I can't let that happen anymore. And quite frankly, I don't want to let that happen anymore. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Prince of Swords. We have to be mindful of air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but we also have to be mindful of just getting caught up in the torrent of it, moving forward with this passion, this intensity, this desire, and thinking something has to change. Like, it just has to be different. And then all of a sudden it will be fantastic. And we're going to be very drawn to people who are different, who maybe we don't really understand, or we see as an enigma in one way or another. It doesn't mean it's better. It means actually that their energy doesn't resonate with our energy, and we have to be aware of that in order to be powerful and bountiful. We don't need to be drained or wind up in a place where all of a sudden we're fighting for our own passion and power and understanding of the situation, because they're confusing us. They're taking us along in a direction we don't want to be in. So also, this is saying that we have to be mindful not just to jump at change because it's going to be change, because it's just going to be something that moves things forward. Our subconscious chakra message is personal power. This is the solar plexus chakra. We need to embrace our gut feels, our personal power, our personal understanding, our tenacity, our determination, and really listening to our gut. And also taking care of our gut, feeding our gut properly. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Five of Cups. Change your mind and change your life. Because if you change your mind, you start to turn to the Two of Cups that is within the inner self. The Minor Arcana Lover's card, the healing, beautiful love that guides us forward, that leads us to hope, that leads us to a balancing of the energy, that is a part of us, the dreams, the desires, and the place that we want to be. Instead of looking at all the failures, all the doubts, all the fears, all the chaos. And that's going to be very important for us. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the bounty that is to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.